don't have to be extraordinary, just forgiving those who never heard your cries. You shall rise. You shall rise and look toward the skies.
Mais senti, oui, vous m'entendez? On va parler en anglais ce soir. Proviamo. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Yuri Jorkev. You may know me from my career in soccer, but as proud of my year on the field as I am equally proud of what Inter is doing through its program Intercampus. From my own experience, I can tell you how beneficial sport can be in changing your life. Now, the great thing about Intercampus is the way it brings similar benefit to some of the world's neediest children. The way it gives back to boys and girls in war-torn area the joys and the right to play. The speaker that will address us tonight can tell you more about how Intercampus operates and about the collaboration between Intercampus and the United Nations. First, I am honored to introduce the men who came up with the idea of bringing Intercampus to the United Nations campus in New York, Ambassador Cesar Raggialini, the permanent representative of Italy to the United Nations. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Yuri, and I'm really delighted tonight to have all this crowd of friends, and I would like to particularly thank the President of the General Assembly, Ieri, and thank you very much for the honor you make us to be here tonight. And the Secretary General Special Advisor for Sport, Mr. Lenk, and the Deputy Executive Director of UNICEF, Mrs. Rao Gupta. Thank you for being here tonight with all us and sharing this beautiful moment, and I thank you all the friends who are here with us. I think that this occasion could not be more timely. As you know, just this morning the General Assembly passed by consensus the resolution on sport as a means to promote education, health, development, and peace, which emphasized the importance of sport as a vehicle to foster education for children and for young people. I would like also to introduce a personal note in this evening, because there are so many things that make me happy, and this evening a special one for me. Not the least of them is that I finally managed to bring my favorite soccer team to the United Nations. But to be honest, the passion that inspires tonight's presentations transcends cheering on any one team, even an exceptional team like Inter. It is instead a passion for sports and in general, and the unique role it performs to help girls and boys, especially in the neediest parts of the world. The reason for this evening's presentation is, in fact, to share with you the experience that Inter has accrued over the years in giving back to more than 10,000 children the chance to be children and to enjoy the fundamental right that should be granted to them, the right to play, the right to smile, the right to be carefree. Through the organization of structural sport and schooling activities, the Intercampus staff arranges get-togethers of girls and boys in every part of the planet. With a simple ball, they perform magic every day. And they do so by addressing every aspect of the training. For as a great player, Pelé once said, every kid around the world who plays soccer wants to be Pelé. The greatest responsibility is to show them not just how to be like a soccer player, but like to be a man. This is perfectly in keeping with the goals of the Intercampus and the UN spirit, which sees sports as an instrument of development and child protection. My pleasure tonight is doubled by another fact. On the one hand, we are crowning a project that have been working for the past 2 years, and to be precise, ever since the day after Inter's victory in the finals of the 2010 Champions League, when I proposed to Mr. Lemk that we welcome Intercampus to the United Nations so that it might illustrate its best practices. And at the same time, we are celebrating 15 years of Intercampus by launching two important new initiatives. The start of a new partnership with the Intercampus and Mr. Lemken's office to help develop community leaders and role models through grassroots sports programs, and the opening of the 25th Intercampus in Tunisia. These two important moments bring to mind something that the great Inter coach Elenio Herrera once said: "It takes time to do the difficult. It takes a little more of it to do the impossible." After 15 years of activities of Intercampus, I think that we are on the right track. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ambassador, for your informative and inspiring opening remarks. As our first speaker this evening, I have the honor of introducing Veg Jeremic, the President of the 67th United Nations General Assembly. Thank you.
I have to say that I really now feel important having been introduced by this particular gentleman. It's a rare honor for us to be in such a situation, for us who are in diplomacy. I'm delighted to be here, and my guys have prepared some remarks here for me, but I will actually speak from the heart, because I really feel very special about what Inter is doing, and I feel very special about Inter, as a matter of fact. One of my first soccer games where my father brought me was a 1981 match in the Champions League. It was called the Champions Cup, European Cup then. It was between Red Star Belgrade and Inter, and it didn't go that well.
1-1.
I was in the game 1-0 when we lost 1-0. This was the return. It was the return match in Belgrade, which everybody expected us to win, and we didn't. And I remember I was a small boy, but I remember going back and I remember crying, and I remember feeling very, very frustrated about Inter. Now, another experience of mine, which actually transformed the way I feel about Inter, was another game of Red Star, and this was 1988, and this was a famous match with AC Milan, where we were famously, that's what we like to say, Red Star fans, we were stolen away our victory in the fog of Belgrade in a repeated game, and from there on, every serious and respectable Red Star fan is going to tell you that they support Inter in the Italian league. But I am truly honored to be here, not only because of my personal affiliation to Inter, but because of the true respect that I have for what Inter has been doing through this program. I was introduced to this program very recently. I wasn't aware of the good deeds that have been done so far, but I think it's a remarkably worthy goal, and it's a remarkably great job that Inter has done through this initiative. I'm a big fan of sports, not only soccer. I'm a tennis fan, to be very honest. I'm also the president of the Tennis Federation of Serbia. It's not a bad time to be in Serbian tennis, and I know how our tennis players are making a contribution to the development and to the well-being of a number of kids in Serbia and throughout the world. But the power, the universal power of appeal of soccer probably goes beyond all other sports. Soccer is the world sports #1. I don't know if everybody would agree with me, but a lot of people will. And I think that we are in a unique position using this universal appeal of soccer if we put it to the good cause. And this has been a remarkable example of how can this be truly put to a good cause. So when you make an appeal to bring a kid away from a street or away from a slum, and bring him and ask him and invite him to come and to do something like playing soccer, I think that the kid is going to find it very, very attractive. I found it attractive to leave my negotiations about tomorrow's resolution because I was invited by these people, and then I guess that the kids are going to find it even more easy to do that. So you guys, you are in a unique position to make such appeal, and I want to thank you for doing it, and I also want to thank the boss of Inter for pushing forward this initiative. I don't want to speak for far too long because there are people who I'm sure you'd like to hear from much more than from me, but I want to thank you, Mr. Ambassador. I want to thank Inter. I want to thank everybody for being a part of this wonderful program and a part of this evening. Welcome to the United Nations.
See the nation through the people's eyes. See tears that flow like rivers from the skies. And where it seems there are only borderlines, where others turn inside, you shall rise. There's disaster in your past, boundaries in your path. What do you desire when lifts you higher? You don't have to be extraordinary, just forgiving those who never heard your cries. You shall rise. You shall rise. You shall rise. Living.
It is now my pleasure to introduce you to my friend, my family, the founder of Intercampus and the president of my team, FC International, Mr. Massimo Moratti.
Thank you very much. I'm honored to stay here today. And first I would like to thank Mr. Ragaglini, the ambassador, Mr. Lemke, and Mrs. Gupta of UNICEF, because they are friends more than everything, they're friends. They understood immediately this project, and they follow us. In the future, they are strong friends for us, and this is really fantastic, fantastic. And then I would like to thank, it was a surprise, Mr. Jeremic, the president of the assembly. That was so nice. I didn't expect, and also as an inter-supporter, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. Many thanks to all of you and the United Nations for giving us the opportunity to tell our story and to share our emotional journey. The story started 15 years ago. I don't explain all the 15 years. 15 years ago in a Brazilian favela, where we couldn't keep our eyes closed in front of the chance we had of making many children happy and by making them finally able to wear Inter's and Ronaldo's jersey. At the time, we used to have Ronaldo as a player in a professional in the first team, and to make them feel like they finally belonged to the world. From there, we rushed to Kosovo in the middle of the war. Little children belonging to families in dire condition needed to be kept safe and away from the battleground. And we felt in the need to help with that necessity, a necessity that we witnessed wherever we went and that we realized could be met with the help of trustworthy and professional trainers and teachers. This is the secret of this organization. And today, after my many years flown by so quickly, we find ourselves in 25 different countries with the same passion and the will to do a little better each time, but also with a little experience that makes us feel helpful to the varied and diverse communities of people and to each family, and of course to the main stars of this project, the children themselves, diverse in culture, skin tone, language, but identical in feelings, in the tenderness they arouse in us, and that constantly sparks up our enthusiasm. Our trainers who travel the world scouting for the chance of opening new intercampus whenever the necessity arises, and to relentlessly monitor those already open, also form teams of local trainers, wonderful people who enriched our project with their humanity and culture. The most important gift we can give these children is to make them feel part of an international famous reality, such as Inter, something that can also keep them safe from violence due to the respect instilled by this reality in their communities. They have an important friend in Inter, a friend that helps them be brave and gives them the freedom to express themselves. Now also Intercampus has a fantastic, strong friend that could defend us, that could protect us. This is United Nations. That's fantastic. I feel like one of these child with us. When it's all being said and done, what keeps sticking in our memories and our hearts are the eyes and the spark in these children's smiles. They are happy to play together. They are happy to wear a jersey and to meet people that actually look for and after them and won't forget about them, because now they are active team members. Well, the situation we work in are difficult and sometimes completely isolated because they are deemed too dangerous. But the family's response in our project is so great and trusting that it makes every chore a simpler and happier one. By looking at the photo book that we just published, you too will understand why this adventure still captivates us and melts our hearts. Thank you again, but before to finish, I'm sorry, I would like to thank also some friend of our Intercampus. I have to say Nike, that helps Intercampus every year, giving us shirts, shorts, socks, and every different, and they are involved, fantastic. I have to thank the chairman of Pirelli for his friendship, Marco Tronchetti Provera. I would like to thank all the little sponsors we find, the partners we found around the world. They are enthusiastic to participate in this adventure. And of course, I would like to thank the people that they work for us in Intercampus, the managers, the operators, fantastic, voluntary, fantastic person. I think that the success is due to their work. And then at the end, I know that after that she hates me, but I would like to thank my daughter. She's I'm sorry, but I'm sorry. But really very generous, full of humanity and strong manager. And so she helped me. She never has a problem for me, and everything is going very well. So I thank her with my heart. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Mr. President. The connection between sport and two of the key pursuits of the United Nations, development and peace, is something that our next speaker can illustrate with great authority. I'm referring to Wilfried Lemke, the Secretary General's Special Advisor on Sport for Development and Peace. Intercampus and UNO SDP are collaborating on the agency Youth Leadership Camp to help develop community leaders and role models through grassroots sport program. To tell you more about this, I am pleased to give the floor to Wilfried Lemke.
Buonasera a tutti. Mr. President of the General Assembly, the Mr. President, Massimo, now I understand the meaning of Massimo after I listened to your words, and cara Carlotta. Happy birthday. 15 years when I met you in Angola, and this is a really true story, I have to tell you. I'm looking for good practices around the world in the field of sports, and not the elite one. Also, I served in Werder Bremen, a club that is quite good, may I say so? 6 matches, and it was finally, 2 defeats, 2 victories, and 2 draws. But Inter, they shot more goals, so they win. Now, what I want to say is, I'm looking how we can serve the needy people, and there are millions and millions of needy people. And we all here in this heat of the United Nations, like in a disco. I love this because it gives us an Italian flair in this room. We live all in a paradise. And if you go to different continents, especially in Africa, where I'm at Carlotta, is completely different. And you cannot believe if you haven't seen it in a slum, in a township, in a refugee camp, where the people live without any hope of a better future. And you, and your initiative, and many, many others give the children hope for a better life. And so when I went to Angola, my driver says, oh, this is a very dangerous place where you want to go. Are you sure that you want to go to this place? Yes, I said, I'm absolutely sure. They want to give me some security people around. No, I don't think it's not necessary. So then we came to this very special project for street children. And I met the people who lead this, and there was a young, beautiful girl, aged something like 20, 22, 23. And I think, oh, she's tough and humble, shy little girl. And I aspired, and I thought, what is a wonderful young girl serving for the street children in Angola. Then, when I left the camp, or the project, some of my assistants said, Mr. Lemke, wasn't it unbelievable, this young lady? I said, yes, there are many, many volunteers around the world having a gap year, and I really appreciate this kind of leadership and role model. that these young ladies are. And she said, you know, that is Carlotta Moratti. I said, Moratti? I know this name. He's the president of Inter Milan. Yeah, it's his daughter. I said, no, I cannot believe. And so this is a very fantastic moment to thank her especially, because she is the president of Inter Campus. Thank you so much, Carlotta. Thank you. Bravo. Now, two small ideas about our future collaboration. I always love to speak about role models all around the world. You, Mr. President, you are a role model without any question. If you look at your life and all your successes, it's wonderful. And not many people can be so proud of that, what they have done in the past. But saying this, we have to look at other role models, like the players who are here, these world stars. They are role models for millions of people around the world, hundreds of millions of people. But what is also very important, that we are looking and taking care for role models in very poor areas. And there are wonderful kids without having any school education, not talking about university level. And they are doing a good job for their kids in the neighborhood. And I saw what you have done in Angola. Now I'm looking at the map, 25 other places. And what the places in which we will work together is youth leadership camps. We are focusing on young people from very, very poor background. As I said, slums, townships, refugee camps, favelas in South America. And we want to identify them and to bring them into another situation that they get a chance for a better future, for themselves, for their families, for their children and grandchildren. But they need some support, and a very specific support. And that's the reason why I'm so happy. Now we have Liverpool. It is also a quite well-known club in Europe, you would agree. Now we have Inter, the big Inter, wonderful name. Maybe we get finally 8 clubs. And my idea, my dream would be, then you take care of 25 projects. If we can convince these clubs like Liverpool, maybe Barcelona, maybe Real Madrid, maybe Werder Bremen, my club as well from Germany. We have to talk to them. But that means if we say once a year, not once a year, in 4 years, just one match for our projects to give people hope for a better future. And you did it. Carlotta, bravo once more. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lenke. There is nothing that happens regarding children at the United Nations that escapes the attention and the involvement of UNICEF, the United Nations Children Fund. I am particularly honored by the presence here tonight of Mrs. Geta Rao Gupta, the Deputy Executive Director of UNICEF. Intercampus works together with UNICEF on protection programs for street children and teenagers in needy areas in Congo. Mrs. Gupta, the floor is yours. Thank you very much.
Good evening to the President of the General Assembly, Ambassador Ragaglini, Mr. Moratti, Mr. Lemke, and a special hello to Ms. Carlotta Moratti. Thank you very much for your partnership with UNICEF. Since this seems to be an evening for sharing personal soccer stories, I'll share mine. So you should know that growing up in India, at the age of 7, I was the only girl on my school boys' soccer team. And I continued that love for soccer growing up as a young teenager, playing soccer on the streets of Delhi barefoot. Enjoyed it thoroughly. No game gives me greater pleasure. So it's a very special occasion for me to join you here today, Mr. Moratti. Few events can command the attention of billions of people across time zones, across cultures, like sports events. Sports are about more than play, more than entertainment, more than just a game. Sport helps children build self-esteem, maintain healthy bodies and sharp minds, and develop life skills like leadership and teamwork. It can teach a boy that while his teammate might have a different color of skin or speak an entirely different language, they can be as close as brothers on the field, united in their commitment to a common goal. It can show a girl that success on the field and in life has nothing to do with gender and everything to do with talent, perseverance, and commitment. And it proves to a child living with disabilities that with discipline and hard work, they can overcome almost any physical or mental barrier and meet their full potential. Sport can also have an amazing effect on children living through conflicts and humanitarian emergencies. If you've ever seen children playing sports in a refugee camp during a humanitarian crisis or in an urban slum in a crowded city, you'll know what I'm talking about. Sport gives those children a chance to live a normal life, even for just a few hours. It hands them back a piece of their childhood. Article 31 of the Convention of the Rights of the Child enshrines every child's right to play. And for the last 15 years, governments, civil society organizations, the private sector, sports clubs, and UN agencies like UNICEF are working together to protect this right. Our close partnership with Inter Milan, one of Europe's top football clubs, is a good example. If more sports clubs demonstrated the kind of commitment and enthusiasm we see from Inter Milan, I'm convinced that the world would be a better place. Under the leadership of Carlotta Moratti, the club's Intercampus Foundation is helping thousands of children, as you can see displayed there, enjoy the benefits of sport. The video we saw this evening is a strong testament to this work. It's great to see the close collaboration between the Italian National Committee and the club to raise funds for children in Bolivia, the Democratic Republic of Congo, and Tunisia. The club's tireless work to help children is a perfect example of Italy's commitment to make a positive difference in the world. Partnerships are also at the heart of our work with the International Cricket Council to promote HIV/AIDS awareness in India. In Afghanistan, we established a girls' sports forum, which not only helps girls participate in sports, but gives them a safe place to share their experiences and concerns. The program has now been adopted in over 20 schools with over 2,000 girls participating. And our work with the Special Olympics is helping children living with disabilities in countries like Cambodia, Jamaica, and Kazakhstan participate in and benefit from sports. Every child who plays a sport quickly learns an important lesson. We cannot win alone. This spirit of partnership and collaboration must extend to our efforts to help all children benefit and learn from sport, no matter where they are, no matter what barriers they face. The deadline to reach our Millennium Development Goals is coming up fast. As we draw close to 2015, we must continue to harness the power of sport and the power of partnerships to protect, educate, and help the world's most vulnerable children. Intercampus Foundation is showing us exactly how to do that. So let's follow their example. Let's work together to make sure that all children have the right to play and acquire the skills they need to make their dreams and their ambitions come true. Thank you very much.
So we
And now, to talk to you more about this latest initiative based on first-hand experience, it's my pleasure to introduce you Mrs. Afef Jennifen. Afef is a well-known advocate for Tunisian art and culture in the world. Immediately after the great movement of political and social change that came to be known as the Arab Spring, it was she who suggested opening a new intercampus in Tunisia. As soon as it became possible to pay more attention to the deserving girls and boys of Tunisia, that is what Intercampus did. Afef, je vous en prie.
Hello, good evening everyone. You wouldn't say so, but I was a soccer player in Tunisia too when I was a kid. So. Thank you. Good evening everyone. It's an honor and an emotion to be given this opportunity to officially announce the launch of the 25th Intercampus program in my own country, Tunisia. In the wake of the Arab Spring, together with Intercampus, we wish to signal the will to realize a project and that would give hope especially to the young generation of the Tunisian affected by the events of those days. Today we can demonstrate and give an account of how children, and I'd like to underline girls as well, together with Intercampus, were able to be children and play again, as it's their full right to do so. And at the same time, find a gleam of hope and trust in a better tomorrow. I would like to thank, I know she doesn't like it, but I would like to thank first Carlotta Moratti. She doesn't like it. And I would like to thank apart from thanking all of the United Nations agencies that are here representing the evening, I would like to thank Inter and its president, Massimo Moratti, and I would like to give a special thanks to Ambassador Ragalini and also to the Italian mission, whose contribution made the realization of this dream, Intercampus Tunisia. Thank you.
Thank you, Afef. And to finish, it's very easy for me and very, very easy. I don't need a paper anymore, and I can speak very fast and very, very, very fast like a New Yorker. Okay, I'm very glad, even if I never play with him. But tonight we have a great champion here. We have a lot of great champions here, but one is very famous, and he did so many things on the field. And I'm very honored to give it not the floor, but the ball to Luis Figo. Thank you, Luis.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry I don't have any story about football to tell you tonight, but it's a great pleasure for me to be part of the board of Intercampus. I have to say thanks to the president, Massimo Moratti, and his daughter, Carlotta. I think this is a unique project in the world that integrates the kids between the sport. Of course, I know what it is to have a chance to have opportunity in sport, because I come from a middle-class family, and everything there was people talking about here before about the value of sport is true. You can find a lot of things in sport, like friendship, how to learn to play in a team, sacrifice. That is very good for the health, for your growth. But if you don't have opportunity to do that, it's very difficult to follow your dreams. So what Inter is doing in all of these countries is making that opportunity for these kids to follow their own dream. So I'm very proud, and like the president said, this is a project not only for 1, 2, 3, or 10 years, it's a project for all life. And the importance of these projects shows why we are all here tonight in the United Nations. and just say thanks for everyone to be here and to support the project. Thank you very much.